afternoon, and we have come to Blakeney, where we're the guests of Diana and Chris Scargill. It's a beautiful, beautiful afternoon. I just rang them out of the blue to say it's such a fantastic day with such lovely light. Could I come and have a look round? And they said yes. So, good afternoon, Diana.
Hello, everybody. Good to have you here.
Very nice of you to have us. We're starting off in what we were both chatting just now is probably as nice a part of the garden as the garden itself, which is under, what would you call the structure which we're under?
We call it a pagoda with a canopy over the top. But
probably here in the background, or I'll put the microphone down to it. That's the rather lovely sound that you get here. Bamboo we're looking at, probably the wrong side of it. Sorry about the sunshine, but we'd have to go next door's garden to get rid of it altogether. And there we are, which must be, gosh, 15 feet tall or something.
Came from Hampton Court Garden show about 20 years ago, I think, and it does need a lot of hacking back, but it's very beautiful.
And we have come into Chris's bit, although Chris isn't here. Saw me with a camera and did a runner. But Diana's going to explain what we've got here.
We've got 72 sweet peppers and chilies, which is a ridiculous amount, and I have sort of despaired a bit because we have virtually no room between us, and whether they'll ripen or not because they're so close together, I don't know. But later on, if they're not ripening, I go through and I thin the leaves down to get more light in. But it's early days yet, so we've got plenty of time for them to ripen, but they're all producing a lot. I'm just saying we've got some black ones. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but that's not a very black one, but we do have black ones and they will go a bit blacker. And then we've got no red. Red hasn't come. That'll be the last thing that comes. But yeah, lovely. And what I do is I freeze most of the chilies, but I've never grown peppers before, so I don't know what we're going to do on that, but probably some sort of chutney.
I've no idea how hot it was in there, but it was very warm. I think we'll try and stimulate a discussion at Garden Group on all this business of colours, because am I right in saying that the black ones, I'm just looking over your shoulder there we are, that the black ones turn green when you cook them? Is that what you told me?
That's right, but whereas the red ones will stay red, the yellow will stay yellow, the green will stay green, but the black ones don't. So we've ended up not cooking the black ones because it sort of spoils it, so we use them raw.
And then it makes you wonder what keeps a green pepper green when some of them go yellow and some of them go red. There we are. I'm sure people will tell us.
All green ones will change colour. Though I'd be loved to find out if that's true, but I don't think any will stay green, except in this country they fight to get enough sunshine to change colour.
Well, there you are. Discuss.
Yeah.
Now, I've learnt something about carrots. Tell us, Diana.
Right, well, I learnt that carrot flies don't fly over 2 feet high. So I raised my carrots, so we'll see. We haven't quite got to harvesting them yet, but I'd be very interested to know if it actually is true. But I reckon they are about 2 feet off the ground. Don't
herbs and herb gardens just, they make a kitchen, they make a garden, don't they?
We had a pesto salad last night, pesto pasta last night, and oh, my pesto was just the best. Way better than anything you buy, yeah.
Yep, well, I'm sure if we were asked around, we'd all agree with that. Tell us a little bit about this corner.
Right, this is where we're going to have the second greenhouse, because my dear husband has taken my greenhouse away from me. Though, to be fair, I bring my annuals on early on doors before he brings his peppers in. But we want to grow vegetables next year, so we're going to have a new second greenhouse here. So sadly my persicaria, which I absolutely adore, will have to go, but I've been digging up great lumps of it to put it all around the garden, so I won't miss it totally.
It's very lovely, isn't it?
It is.
I'm not sure if I can get quite the shot I want of these, but they are really very handsome indeed. let you just gorge on those for a bit because they are really lovely. Okay, we're in the shade a bit here and looking at a tree that I believe is 25 years old. Tell us about that.
It's a lovely maple, and it's my favourite tree of ever because every part of the year it's beautiful. It's got seeds hanging down, its leaves go red, it has something all the time, and it's a lovely shape, it's a pretty shape, and absolutely love it. And the thing about acers is that if they've got very thin weedy little leaves, they're very delicate, and of course round here you do not want anything delicate. So this.
Just have a quick look at the bark because I was rather taken by that. Don't know how closely you can see that, but it's got a lovely sort of silver ridge to it that runs all the way down, nearly snakeskin like. It was so beautiful. We were talking about leaves on the lawn. The lawn was cut this morning, it's now covered in leaves, and the theory is, I think, stress, Diana?
Yeah, we think it's possibly because the trees are too dry at the moment. Otherwise, why would they be shedding leaves in July?
I've had to step into the garden only because I'd be filming straight into the sun if I wasn't. And what I've done is to dislodge a million flying ants and bugs and butterflies. Now, Diana, this looks something a bit different.
Well, it's what we call the Bog Garden, and 25 years ago it was created as a bog. Of course it isn't now, but the plants still love it. We've got Regersii, hosta ferns, macleas, rooms, and everything thrives. In fact, I fight every year to thin it all down and take ones out.
And here we are from the other side, looking at the pergola, and you can see why that place to sit, have a glass of wine, do whatever you want to do, just totally justifies the garden. I'm not sure which way round it is, whether the garden justifies the pergola or the pergola justifies the garden. There we are, cabbage white. And this is all new. We're going to get the story.
We had to replace the fence about 18 months ago, so consequently they ripped out the whole of the bank. So we were left with a bit of a blank canvas except for the lovely trees. So we built a retaining wall to keep the bank in, and we're slowly finding what will cope with the intense dryness that this part of the garden has. Even when it pours with rain, parts of it don't get damp. But because we've just recently put in some clematis, honeysuckle and Virginia creeper, we've put in a drip feed hose pipe just to give them a bit of a boost.
When you make a big change like that in the garden, is that a whole new lease of life, a whole new got a thrust of energy for you to get started on a new project, or are you as enthusiastic the whole time?
Oh, that's a difficult question. I love my garden all the time. I mean, yes, it's lovely to embrace a new part because every year you learn more and you become more intelligent with your planting, and this is why when we do something new now, we don't rush to fill it with plants. We take a bit of time, we look after it, we care for it, and we just work out what will grow. And often I just move bits from another part of the garden to fill them in for the time being while I just work out what I really want. But every part of it's a joy.
And this wasn't always like this, was it? Which I have to say, it's looking really lovely in the late afternoon sunshine.
When we got here, there was this huge shrub, can't remember what it's called, and it was the whole bed, and it was pretty, it's green, and that was all it was. And we couldn't cope with more gardens, we left it. But in October 2018, we totally took it out and transformed our garden, and it's been so lovely to have a totally new area to plant.
How are you getting on the grand colour all the year round project?
Well, I think I'm improving. I think I haven't got there yet, but I do feel I am better than I was. And it's like these things like marigolds.
Let's walk a bit further.
Simple little thing called little marigold. Everyone knows a marigold. But bless their little cotton socks, do they not flower for months on end? Tom's just gone past the white persicaria, and we were saying earlier about how persicaria is my friend in this garden because it grows so well. And I've got a dark-leaved persicaria, I've got the Bistorta superba, which I'm sure we've all got, the pale pink one. I've got a dark pink one, and then we were just on the very, very, very tall white one, which is lovely at the very back of a border. And if you go round a bit more that way, Tom, we'll see it at the back there. That's the very, very tall persicaria, which grows so well round here.
I don't know if you can hear on the recording, but it's breezy this afternoon, and this is just making this fantastic. I'm going to just probably a complete wasted bit of video, but just to show you the wind in the tops of the trees making this little corner of Blakeney an absolute delight. And there are some lovely trees. These are so pretty. I know I've seen them, but I've no idea what to call them. But I'm about to be told, I'm sure.
No, you're not, because I can't remember if it's sweet lips or hot lips. But by the time you're watching this, you can all go, yes, I know what they are, and that would be lovely.
There you go, sweet hot lips. Now we've stopped to have a proper look at this tree.
It's going to be like a quiz when you watch this, because I need you all to tell me what this is called, because every time I forget. But it's a very rare Peruvian tree, which my nice tree man always reminds me what it's called, but it jumps straight out of my head. But it is so unusual and really lovely.
I'm just going to go around the other side of it. Sorry if this is all a bit jerky, and see if I can get a proper... There we are. That gives you an idea, 30 feet tall or something like that. And yet another new project. What have we got here?
Right, we're going into vegetables. We've got so keen on growing things, we're going to extend our repertoire. So we're having a very, very big bird netting cage, 8 metres by 4 metres, because we have so many pigeons around here and I don't want to be upset by them. And then we're having 3 little raised beds, one of which will definitely be asparagus, and we're going to have a row of raspberries in the net and loads of other things.
Another good reason for coming back. It's a lovely tour, a smashing tour, and a gorgeous afternoon and an awful lot of fun. Look at those colours, dogs, and fabulous views, wonderful sunshine. Diana, I'd say thank you to Chris if he were here, but he's not, so pass that on. Thank you very much indeed.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure. I mean, I'm so excited to look forward to when I'll see it, and I hope I'll be able to attend the meeting. But I've found the whole thing of looking at people's gardens fascinating, so hopefully you might enjoy ours too.
I don't think there's any doubt about that at all. Thank you very much indeed.